August 2019. A passenger plane belonging to Ural Airlines made an emergency landing in a cornfield after an engine failure. Everyone on board survived. Commander Damir Yusupov and co-pilot Georgy Murzin were awarded the title of Hero of the Russian Federation. However, the report published after the accident. Official reports were presenting a picture very different from what the public expected. According to the report, the crew made mistakes under stress. The safe landing of the plane in the field was largely aided by luck.
4 years later, on September 12, 2023, the same airline, once again a passenger plane, once again a landing outside the runway. This time, not a cornfield, but a wheat field. However, in this incident, the situation completely changed. According to Rosaviatsia's preliminary report, the crew chose the wrong airport, made an error in fuel calculation, and showed serious deficiencies in the decision-making process. As a result, the plane was landed in a field instead of the runway. This time, there was no man. This time, there was an investigation. A case was filed against the captain of the plane, Sergei Belov. The file began to be heard at the Barabinsky District Court of the Novosibirsk region. So how do his colleagues evaluate this situation? An experienced pilot who is a captain of an Airbus A320 at a Russian airline says, "There is a very clear procedure that must be followed in the event of a serious malfunction. This procedure increases the chance of reaching the correct decision to almost 100%, even under the highest stress." This crew did not follow any of these steps. Allegedly, the weather report was not obtained. The landing distance for the alternate airfield was not calculated. The full extent of the malfunction was not analyzed. It was not clarified which systems of the aircraft were not functioning. Yet, this algorithm was a basic scenario that every pilot practiced multiple times in the simulator every 6 months. This is where the questions begin. If these procedures were not followed, how did these pilots pass their simulator training? Who approved this training? Are the internal audit mechanisms really functioning? Most of these questions usually remain unanswered in official reports. Another name participating in the discussion is Viktor Kabanov, considered one of the most respected pilots in Russia. Kabanov recalls a famous example in history, the Gimli glider. In Canada, a Boeing 767 lost all its engines in the air due to an incorrect fuel calculation. The captain pilot landed the plane on an old military runway without engines, preventing a major disaster. This pilot was at fault but was not punished. On the contrary, he was declared a hero. Why? Because the system knew this. Punishing a mistake made with good intentions paralyzes future decisions. Karbanov's question is clear. Did we really have malicious intent? Is it right to measure a pilot's decision to keep passengers alive with a prison sentence that will last for years? The real danger starts here, because such a decision does not only affect a single pilot. It sends this message to the minds of approximately 7,000 active pilots in the country. If you take initiative, you will pay the price, and if one day a pilot hesitates instead of making a decision at a critical moment, the cost of those few seconds of indecision could be the lives of hundreds of people. In aviation, safety is maintained not only by rules, but by the courage of the people who will enforce those rules. The real question is, what makes a system safe? Punishing mistakes or training pilots who are not afraid to make the right decision? The answer to this question will be determined not by the courts, but by a decision that will or will not be made one day.